Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen. You can call me this guy if my name is tricky to pronounce. It's indeed a pleasure to have you along. Today I'm going to be discussing my top 5 influences, at least regarding guitar playing. So I'll be right back after this intro. Okay, so today I'm talking about my top 5 influences, at least regarding guitar playing. Now, before I get going, in the comments, please put your top 5 influences as a guitar player, or if you're a drummer, drumming influences, or if you're a gymnast influences, or something like that. Well, you get the idea. So, my top 5 influences, I've left out a few, and yeah, some people are going to be mad that some people are not included on this list, but it's my list, so screw that. Let's start with number 1, because I'm going to go through as well why they've influenced me, how they've influenced me. So, number 1 is Mr. Gary Moore. Yeah, so Gary Moore, he's really the reason why I started to play guitar properly, because I heard his solo on the song Shapes of Things, the live version. I was blown away. There was this one lick that was just like this. Something like that. The fast thing, I'd never kind of heard anyone do that, at least not that I kind of realized. So that was, for me, the moment where I decided I want to be able to do that. And Gary Moore is not just fast playing, so he's influenced me in other ways as well. He's not just gotten me started, but he's also the guy, or one of the guys, who's kind of made me realize the importance of being melodic and all that kind of stuff. So Gary Moore is right up there for me. He's number 1. Not that the list is in any particular order, but Gary Moore is number 1. Number 2, can you guess who it might be? Yes, indeed, it's our favorite Swedish Viking guitar player, Mr. Yngwie Malmsteen. Sorry, Mr. Yngwie Malmsteen. Yes, Yngwie Malmsteen. I remember hearing Odyssey back in the day when we went to Sweden to visit my grandparents, and my dad put it on cassette in the car, and even though I didn't play at the time, I was really struck by the intensity, the passion of his playing, and I heard it years later when I started playing, and again was struck by that same passion and intensity. And for me, if I had to pick one biggest influence, it would probably be him. He's absolutely brilliant. And the thing about him is that even though he does that fast stuff and he's known for that, he's also got that whole vibrato bend thing going, which is brilliant, and that's influenced me a lot as well. For me, that's the most important thing for a lead guitar player to know how to do, all of this stuff. Yeah, so Yngwie Malmsteen is number 2 on my list, and then we go on to number 3. Who do you think this is? Mr. Steve Vai. And hey, he gave me the quirky side, and he gave me the whammy bar stuff and all of that, and he's such a brilliant player. I mean, yeah, I love him to bits. I remember I heard Passion and Warfare for the first time. Whoops, nice going there. I heard Passion and Warfare for the first time, and I was already a fan of his playing through David Lee Roth and Whitesnake, and I didn't like Passion and Warfare at all. I absolutely hated it. But we had the album, and I listened to it a second time, like a month later or 2 months later, kind of thinking, well, he's Steve Vai, maybe I should give it another chance. And I still hated it. But there was something there that I kind of liked, so I listened to it another time a while later, and it started to grow on me. And it's one of my favorite albums ever. And I mean, he's a brilliant guitar player, and I learned a bunch of his song as a teenager, For the Love of God being one. I can't remember most of it anymore, but I spent hours and hours doing that stuff, and I did the whole 30-hour exercise thing that he does. So he was a huge influence on me. Okay, number 4, and this one is slightly different. I don't actually remember how to play more than the opening phrase of that song. That's Harlem Nocturne, and the guitar player in question is Danny Gatson. He played a telly. He was absolutely incredible. I remember my old guitar teacher, Sasha, once told me when I was a teenager and was already quite good on the guitar, he said if I could learn any Danny Gatson song, I could pick any Danny Gatson song. If I learned it with all the tricks that Danny Gatson did, then he would give me any one of his guitars. I had a listen, and I never got that guitar. Years later, I asked him, is the offer still valid? And he said, no, you're way too good now. But that's not really the reason why I like Danny Gatson so much and why he's influenced me. The main reason is that he has fun with the music. And that's a huge thing for me. I could name other people here as well, in the same sentence. I could name Mattias Jaeklund and even Massi Hukari. And Massi, if you're watching this, you have been a huge influence, because having fun with the music, not being too serious about it, even though you're serious, I think that's great. The ability to make people smile by playing something funny. So he could end a song like, or do, so Danny Gatson is one. He's number 4 on my list, and it's really sad that he went and committed suicide. I'm not really sure why he did that. I actually tried Googling that, so if someone knows why he did that, I'd be interested to know. Put that in the comments. I heard the last album he did, which was a live album, it seems it was 1 set from a 2-set gig, and it's a brilliant thing. And he was supposed to go out on world tour shortly afterwards, but I don't know. Sad business, but a brilliant guitar player. Absolutely love him. Okay, and then we have the last one, and he's given me something slightly different. Yes, Jeff Beck. He's probably the latest on my list of influences. I got into Jeff Beck quite late. I was definitely an adult, probably midway through my 20s at that point, something like 25, when I really properly got into him. And such a brilliant player. In many respects, I think he's my favorite guitar player. When he nails it, he really nails it. It seems like he's a bit of kind of a mood player, so if he's not in the mood, it's not always great. But when he does hit that mood, his phrasing and all that stuff is out of this world. Yeah, so Jeff Beck has to be on any top 5 list that I do of influences. Yeah, so that's my top 5 influences as far as guitar playing goes. I've been extremely lucky. I've met 2 of these people. I met Yngwie and Steve Vai, both in Miami 2016, and Yngwie Malmsteen looked at me and said, you're very good. So he'd actually listened to me, and I became kind of a giggling schoolgirl at that point. And I've also met Steve Vai once after that occasion, and even got to jam with him a bit, and he's such a nice guy. And basically, if someone had told me when I was a teenager that I'd meet those 2 guys, I would have taken that, and that would be fine. Still, brilliant players, all 5 on the list, and yeah, let me know who would be on your top 5, and let me know if you think I've missed someone, if you think my playing reminds you of someone that should be on that list. It changes from time to time, but hey, that's the nature of things. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe, hit that bell notification thing, support me on Patreon because it helps me make more of these videos. And like I said, let me know your top 5 influences regardless of what you do. I'll end with a bit of noodling. See you in another one. Take care. Goodbye!